Yo, this your boy T Nasty. I got another dope video for y'all, man. It's another banger about Lackluster. Bad arrest, lawsuit settled, update. So, whatever the case may be, when it came to this video right here, Lackluster does a good job of whenever he does these updates, he shows the whole video and then he shows the outcome. So let's go on and get to this reaction. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave us some comments. Let's go and get to this reaction.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, give me
places here where you can park. I saw him stop.
no.
You need a witness, let me know.
Why are you yelling, sir?
I should remember this.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel.
I do remember this.
It's been a year since I've posted this story, and we finally have an update.
I
If you're
reacted
not
to it.
familiar with it, sit back, relax, and watch it for the first time. But if you came just to hear the update, skip to the timestamp linked on screen. On January 25th of 2022,
we'll listen
a
to the full
student
story.
of
Even though I read
McLennan
to it already,
County
we'll listen to
Community
the full
College
story.
in Waco, Texas, was driving to class, and
So,
shortly after
hey,
pulling
wanted,
into the lot,
parking the
an
spot,
officer
then it was a
working
big
for the
deal.
school pulls in behind him, blocking the entire path of travel through the lot.
713 traffic. You can just
Oh,
stay in
that
your
bow
vehicle.
tie. Hey, man. If you believe in Chevys, bro, hey.
The officer radios in the
That bow
vehicle's
tie's so
license
sexy to
plate,
me, bro.
while Professor Casey
I believe
Hubble
my
pulls in
Chevy, bro.
behind her, on his way to a parking spot.
Simple. You might have to go around.
Casey Hubble was a tenured professor. For 16 years, he taught federal and state government. Because of his tenure and what he taught, it is likely that he knows quite a bit more about the law than your average traffic officer. He is also a disabled veteran after serving in the airborne infantry and requires a cane to get around. The officer's cruiser was unnecessarily blocking his direct access to the available handicap parking spots, so he asked the officer to move her cruiser.
Hello, how are you? My name is Officer Edgerton. I'm with MCC Police Department. Do you have your driver's license and insurance on you?
I do, ma'am.
The reason I stopped you...
Oh my goodness.
Okay, give me...
Places here where you can park.
Okay, I'm in...
Block the whole street.
Okay, I'm in the middle of a traffic stop, sir.
Professor Hubble
Now, when I first read to it, I don't remember my initial reaction to it, but I know I read to this video. You can go back. You can be like, T Nasty Cap, right? T Nasty Cap. You felt a certain way about the whole situation. But looking at it now, because you know what I'm saying, I could change my mind if that's the case. He literally could have parked anywhere else. Like, this parking spot right here is wide ass open, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could park anywhere, bro. And he sounds like a dickhead. Like, bro, like, obviously she's in a traffic stop right now. She's doing her thing. Excuse me. As y'all know, I was sick for a while and I'm still coughing over that crap. But like, that was unnecessary, bro. Like, she's in the middle of the traffic stop. Park somewhere else, bro. Like, I know you gotta get in your handicap spot, but as you seen, that parking spot is like way over there. So let's go on.
also claims
I
that
don't
the
remember-
man
I don't
in the
remember- I
Mustang
know I
had
reacted to it,
preceded
so I
him
don't
through the
remember
campus
much.
intersection
So
and
I
now
watched
tells
it
the
for a second.
officer that he saw him come to a complete stop at the stop sign.
I'll move in just a
I
second.
saw him stop.
No.
You need a witness, let me know.
I left my wallet at home.
That's okay. Do you have your driver's license on you?
That's what I mean. I left
Oh,
my
you
wallet.
left your wallet at home?
But you can
Okay.
run the
Sir,
plates.
If you need a witness, let me know.
Thank you, sir. But I think we'll be fine. My insurance.
What is your name? Okay,
want me to spell my last name?
give me 1 second and let me move my
Yeah.
vehicle so he'll stop.
He can't get to his handicap spot.
The officer eventually moves her vehicle, and Professor Hubble parks and goes inside. By the time a backup officer arrives, 7 minutes later, Professor Hubble was already in his classroom, but the first officer warned about the professor, exaggerating the encounter to make it seem worse than it
Now I
was.
remember.
Watch your back. There was one guy that got really irritated with me because I was doing this traffic stop, and then he started interjecting, going, he stopped, and I'm gonna find out he's in that black Mustang. I'm gonna find out if he works here because that was inappropriate. He was upset
All
that
right,
he
so
didn't
now
get the driver-
I remember now, right? Like, I'm sure she probably got tilted because of the fact that she felt like it was kind of unnecessary. Then he came over like, "Hey, you stop," so I'm a witness, right? So she got a little offended. The reason why she pursued that professor, right? And I think he got fired because of it and everything. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got fired for it. I think he did get fired for it. Yeah, he did get fired for it. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep.
Drive this way to park,
That's the reason why I want
and
to
then
react
he
to
could
the
have went
video.
around, but he just wanted to be rude. I mean, he got out of his car yelling. You can ask him. If you need a warning, or if you need help about,
Now that was
if you need
crazy.
if you need a witness, let me know.
Right, but she did move.
Okay, sir.
He already
The
walked in the
driver was
building.
let go with a warning, but the officer followed up with her encounter with Professor Hubble 1 week
Like,
after the
it was extra that he told her to move, right? Because you can literally, like, if you can see, you can drive around and pick your parking spot. So you didn't need to initiate with the cop, right? Like, look at it. Like, you had like 3 other lanes he could have drove through and parked in his spot, right? But he's been a cop hater, right? You can tell, right? And like he could literally just drove around, parked the car, and got out and whatever, right? But the fact that she moved, because you could tell the dude like, hey, this dude ain't doing that wrong. You just being an asshole. You put it over the reason. So I'm gonna interject myself in this whole situation. Like, listen, move away. This dude didn't do that wrong. Hey, if you need some help, call me. Right? I'll take care of this shit. Like look at this parking lot, bro. This parking lot, like, granted, he's handicapped, so he has to park in the handicap spot, right? But look at all these empty parking spots he could have moved in, and he looked like he was walking fine, but he could have literally drove around and parked at one of these parking spots. I'm not mad at him. He could have avoided the whole situation, right? Not really mad at him, but I'm not mad at her for doing what she had to do either. Well, kind of, because she could have just let it go. Like, the dude already parked, he already went aside. So, like, hey, let's stop it, right? So she didn't have to, like, hey, this dude's been an asshole. I'm gonna pursue it further than that. Like, she already moved, and just let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, he could have moved around, and he could have been done with it. He didn't have to say what he had to say. But he felt like he had interjected himself into the whole stop. Told the dude, like, hey, if you need some help with whatever the case may be, then I'm there for you. And she could just let this dude walk on it and mind his business and been done with it. But he got fired because of the whole situation. So let's go into the finish the reaction, bro. I'm sorry.
30-second
I watched the
incident,
video
he was
earlier,
arrested
so
in a
I
campus
know.
stairwell while leaving the campus for interference with public duties. The professor was placed in a tiny holding cell for 7 hours before being moved
Damn.
to general population with 30 to 35 inmates, most
Damn.
of whom were charged with felony offenses. Hubble remained in jail until evening the following day. During that
He didn't
time,
deserve
he was
that.
denied the use of his cane and medication. After his release, the school's president, John McCone, revoked Hubble's tenure and terminated his employment because of the arrest on campus. Per section 38.15, interference is an offense if a person with criminal negligence interrupts,
He can sue the
disrupts,
school and everything
impedes,
behind it,
or
too.
otherwise interferes with a peace officer while the peace officer is performing a duty or exercising authority imposed or granted by law. However, section 38.15d provides that it is a defense to prosecution that the interruption, disruption, impediment, or interference alleged consisted of speech only. The McLennan County Criminal District Attorney's Office initially refused the case against Hubble, stating that the
Motherfucker, that
MCC
bad,
Police
dog.
Department
Like, man,
obviously
why the
failed
hell-
to read the portion of the statute.
Why the hell I can't come across some shit like that? Why can it be that easy for me? Like, granted, I don't want to have to sue my state, but it's government. They're gonna get their money back anyways, right? So why can't somebody just pull me over for being black, right? Like, hey, you fucking black guy, you shouldn't be driving this type of truck. Because I have a decent truck. It's not the best truck, but like it's lifted and everything. It's decent, right? So I'm waiting for the whole situation. Like, hey, you don't belong in that fucking thing. Like profiling me and shit, basically, right? Because normally you don't typically see a black guy like me in that type of truck that I'm driving right now. Why can't it be me? I need that bag too. Hey, arrest me. Hey, consider me a drug dealer, but just because you see me in my truck, it's like, hey, granted, like I'm not trying to all horn or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not saying my truck is the nicest because like these drug dealers that drive around what they drive around now is way nicer than mine. But I'm just saying, like the profile aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
That says a violation consisting of speech only is
The fact
not
that,
an
like,
offense. His
your boy
termination
shouldn't
with the
be
college
in that
was
type of
also
truck, you know
rescinded
what I'm saying?
for failure to provide him with due process protections. Shortly after, as if the college and police department hadn't dug themselves
But-
enough of a hole, the
but
MCC
not-
chief of
never
police
got pulled over in my
contacted the
truck
district
ever.
attorney's office and
I
persuaded
put
the
over my,
assistant DA to reinstate the charges.
89
However,
Box Chevy
the same
plenty of
defense,
times.
as well as the citing of Houston v. Hill, was used to drop the
And my
charges the
other
second time. The
88
college
Box
also
Chevy I
went
got
back
pulled
after
in
his
just
tenure,
because
terminating him for a second
never
time
got
in
put in
August
any of
of
my other
2022. And
that
now,
was, like,
in Professor Hubble's
decent
lawsuit
looking, you know?
citing First and 14th Amendment violations, it is claimed that the school's decision to terminate him was in response to a complaint he filed against the school
Sorry.
alleging excessive full-time faculty workloads, as well as other complaints. Professor Hubble's lawyer notes that this is suggestive that college administrators acted out of their personal grudges with Hubble, making him the first tenured professor to have ever been terminated at the school, despite
Hubble,
other professors with
he
much
seemed like
more
a
severe
problem. I ain't
charges.
gonna lie.
A jury trial was set for January of 2024. The
But
attorneys
they
for the
gave
school
him
filed
the,
motions
like,
for
the
a summary
ammunition,
judgment, arguing that
the
Professor
sewer.
Hubble had not met the burden of proof
They
for
really
a
did.
federal case, but the
I'm not,
case was
I want to say I said this. I want to say I said it in my previous reaction that I felt like this dude was a problem, right? He was probably an asshole, and he seemed like he was an asshole, especially for this encounter, right? But like, you just can't go off and fire him because of that. Like, oh, it was like probably like, yes, he gave us ammunition to fire him, but like, you really can't fire him because of that. Like, the school had to, think he probably was like a whole menace and a whole administration, but they tried to use anything and everything to get rid of him. And at this point, like, you really couldn't get rid of him because of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, they was looking to get rid of him because he was probably an asshole, but they were so quick on a gun.
dismissed
They'd be like,
just
"Hey,
a week
nah,
prior to
you
the
can't do that."
trial, after both sides reached an agreement settling
And
the
they
case
failed.
for $275,000.
They settled for that.
However,
He
the
probably got
settlement
more.
included a non-disparagement clause that barred each party from
275
negative
ain't done.
statements about each other.
Hey,
And of
275
course,
I'm burning that
despite the
easily.
large settlement, the defendants still claim that they did nothing
Give me
wrong.
$275,000
So why
right now,
settle for
dog.
such a high
That
dollar amount just
275
1
is going
week
in
before
probably
the
like
trial?
6
If you
months.
ask the school's
No cap.
attorneys, they'll tell you that the college's insurance company forced the
Granted, I have
settlement
everything I
once
want.
legal costs
House probably
reached a
paid
certain
off.
amount.
You know what I'm
Professor
saying?
Hubble's suit
Whatever.
originally asked for reinstatement to
But it's gone.
MCC. However, his
All my
reinstatement
debt's
was not
gone.
included in the settlement, and at least for now, he can move on with his life. In the end, I'd like to know
Give me
what you think.
$275,000 right now.
And so,
That money
the
burnt.
court of public opinion is now in session.
Hey, my
As
house
the
be
jury,
paid off,
let me know
all my
what you
debt be
think in the
gone.
comments down
Give me
below. Was
$275,000
this
right
settlement
now.
enough, considering everything they put Professor Hubble through? Or did he deserve anything at all? Be sure to cast your vote.
Hubble was an asshole. Don't get me wrong, but like, that don't fire him because of that.
Why are you yelling, sir? Ooh.
Hey, don't fire him because of that.
Get your Camaro on somewhere.
You just can't.
He can't get to his handicap spot.
And he can't get to it. That's the crazy part about it. He easily drive around. There's like 3 other lanes he could have drove around.
The cop should not have to move.
She's not moving far.
She's moved on now.
He's gonna flip her off. Watch.
He could have went around. He's a professor.
But like, he cannot be fired because of it. I think. Like, yeah, Dude could drive around. 3 of the lanes he could have took to get to his handicap spot. Don't get me wrong, right? But he wanted to interject himself the whole situation. But the school, I felt like, this is my opinion, felt like, hey, this dude's a problem anyways. Let's go and get rid of him, right? He's a problem, right? He's toxic. He's like one of those teachers, right? Like, hey, he's a problem. He just gave us a reason to fire him, right? But legitimately, they really couldn't fire him because of that. So he decided they decided to fire him anyway, just because, like, hey, this is a problem. Let's fire him, right? But I'm sure he's gonna get plenty of money from the school. He's gonna get plenty of money from the law enforcement, whoever the law enforcement is in that situation. $275, they get off cheap, honestly. Me personally, $275, I'm wasting like in 6 months. Hey, 6 months, that $275 is gonna kill it. But I'm gonna have everything I want. A house paid off, and whatever else I need done with my house or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, sorry I made the video longer than what it's supposed to be. But I reacted to the video already, and I just saying, I want to give my opinion about it. But it's your boy T Nasty, man. Holla at your boy, and I'm out.